Welcome to NFL Road where NFL starts and ends. I'm your host, Jacob. And to begin this episode, we first talk about Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook. Right after we get off the air, Ezekiel Elliott had signed, or was expected to sign with the New England Patriots. His contract, it's worded to say up to $6 million. It's really $4 million with incentives, which he probably won't get, but Ezekiel Elliott does in fact land with the Patriots, which was the one team that actually requested a visit from him. The market for Ezekiel Elliott was not particularly good, more of particularly lackluster at best, because it was going to be, well, Dalvin Cook's out there. Like, Zeke's a big name, but at the same time, he's old, even though Zeke and Dalvin are the same age. They're just two different styles, and one got beat up more than the other. But the thing is, Zeke's still a great short yardage back, and still a great goal line back. I think was fourth in goal line situations. So that just shows that he can still contribute in a very positive way. Now, I was talking with a brother of mine. He was saying how, because I texted him after Zeke signed. I was like, "Yo, you're gonna really like him. You're gonna really love watching him play." And he's like, "Well, yeah, I hope so. I don't know how much he'll play. I hope it's more like a split with Ramondre Stevenson being the guy." And I said, "Well, yeah, it'll probably more of a split. It will probably more of Ramondre Stevenson. Zeke will probably come in on short yardage because that's what he's really good at. He's got a knack for always falling forward. If you're gonna lose a yard somehow, you don't lose a yard. You end up gaining a yard. It's just the nature of Zeke. And so the Patriots are gonna love him, and Belichick's gonna love him because he's also a great locker room guy. He's very much a leader, and he's gonna help Ramondre out a lot. This is a guy who won the NFL rushing title for 2 years. He's a good he's a great running back. 68 touchdowns in his career. He's great at what he does. But if you need a 4th and 1, 3rd and 3, he can get you those. A couple years ago, I had said that Ezekiel Elliott has transformed himself from being that I'm gonna get 100, 150 yards on the ground every week to, well, let me just be the Jerome Bettis of the world. I'm not gonna be getting 100 yards a game, but I'm gonna get close to maybe 50, 60 yards a game, and I'll just go through people, and I'll pick up first downs. We'll move the chains. I don't need 100 yards. And that's what he did, which is not a very sexy thing to do, was be in that Jerome Bettis role. But if it works, which it does, because we've seen it work, it shouldn't be shocked, but everyone in the media wants to make it a big deal. Now, for Dalvin Cook, we had said that Michael Carter had said that they don't need anyone. They don't need Dalvin. They don't need Zeke. They don't need anyone. They're good at what they are. Shortly thereafter, Dalvin Cook signed with the Jets for 8.6. He was asking for 10. I thought when he got 8.6, I thought that was kind of high for just the timetable that we're in of it's mid-August. Excuse me, it's mid-August. We're we've already gone through a preseason game. I thought I was kind of high for the timetable we were in, especially for how lackluster the running back market has been. But everything I've heard from Tom Pelissero, Rappaport, everyone has said the same thing. They were so close to getting a deal. They just had to get through a couple of things they had to negotiate. Like, it wasn't about it was money, and it was focusing on how this was all gonna work and whatever. Which he did take a team-friendly deal. He wanted 10, he took 8.6. Okay. And now that's exciting because you look at that of the running backs, you got Breece Hall, who returned the day after um they signed Dalvin. So it was you got Dalvin, you got Breece, and you got a litany of running backs back there that can compete for the third and possibly fourth job. So you gotta be pleased by the Jets front office. Let's get the best players that we can. Also, one more note about Ezekiel Elliott. He is going to wear number 15, which was his old college number at Ohio State. He is wearing number 15. So that's another good thing. Moving on to Marlon Humphrey. The Ravens cornerback is going to undergo foot surgery, and it was worded this particular way. He's expected to miss at least a month. So at best, he maybe only misses a game of the first 3 weeks. It goes on and said, Marlon Humphrey will undergo foot surgery, confirmed by John Harbaugh. The hope is it only lasts about a month, a little over a month. And it was Harbaugh had told reporters that Humphrey had been dealing with a lingering foot issue, and the doctors decided that the best course of action is to do a surgery. There is no timetable. Baltimore opens with a home game against the Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud, and then they will head to Cincinnati and face Joe Burrow and the Bengals in week 2. Given the Ravens' timeline, they would hope that he'd be back for the Bengals game or the week 3 showdown between the Ravens and the Colts. It's a bummer. It's not the best thing, but at the same time, at least let's get it out of the way now. And let's hope that we don't have an issue like we did last year or like the Bills had last year, which we were all banged up. The next thing, and this actually just got announced today, was Russell Gage suffered a non-contact injury that could potentially be season-ending. And anytime you hear non-contact injury, you get a little scared every time. Because you know there's nothing that player could have done. Nothing. Which was quoted as being a pretty serious injury. He was carted off the field. It was reported he suffered a non-contact knee injury on Wednesday. Russell Gage went down in what appeared to be a serious injury, was carted off the field. It is believed that this will be his season ender before it even begins. Gage will undergo a litany of tests. He couldn't put excuse me.